Hello dear students, welcome to part 2 of the video series on political theory and introduction. So as you remember, in the last video we discussed about political values and ideals, about political principles, and how we can safeguard our political values and political principles. Now, somebody might ask you this, that if we have written everything in the constitution, all the values and ideals are there, then why do we need to worry about anything? Correct? The constitution will protect us. Now, we all are equal before the law, but are we also economically and socially equal? So the question here means that no, like the law cannot discriminate between different people on the basis of their race, caste, gender, sexual orientation, correct? But are you also equal in terms of economic status and social status? So of course we are not, correct? In terms of economic status, some people are rich, some people are poor, some people are very rich, money, correct? Some people are very poor, your maid, your driver, correct? We are also not socially equal. Some people are from high caste, some people are from low caste, some people are from upper class, some people are from lower class, correct? Some people are male, some people are female, some people are from one majority community, some people are from minority community. So again, we are not socially equal. So situations keep changing. Uh, so this sentence, citizens have the right to bear arms. This is from the American Constitution. American Constitution was written from in 1791, and the Second Amendment of the American Constitution says that all citizens have a right to bear arms. That they have a right to keep a firearm. Now, does this mean that today they will allow American citizens to carry a AK-47? So, of course, no, they are not allowed today. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that situations change, okay? And with situations, our values and ideals also change. Now, with changing times, new rights come up. So, right to privacy, right to information, right to education. So initially we did not need to worry about right to privacy because the government did not have enough power to violate our privacy. So for example, right now, like we are worried that is the government listening to our phone calls? Is the government looking at our social media activity? Is the government going through my WhatsApp messages? Correct. Right now, this Arogya Setu app, it was in controversy because people were worried that it will violate people's privacy. So this is a situation which has arisen now with the upcoming advanced technology. So we need new rights, like a right to privacy. I think the government was thinking of bringing a data protection bill, digital data protection bill, which would cover right to privacy. But right now it is suspended. I think once this coronavirus ends, then they will, I think, work again on it. Right to information again was passed like recently. Right to education was passed in 2010. So these are some of the new rights which we have come up with. Now, technology is change, and with change in technology, we create new dimensions for politics. Correct? So, like 100 years back, nobody would be worried about politics of space, the space, because we did not have the capability to go to space. So no, we did not need to worry about who controls the space, everything. But right now we are having politics in space also. Know how many countries will launch their satellites? Correct. What should be the procedure for it? all those things. Now, for example, internet surveillance, which is something I discussed already, that the current government, any government, not just saying Indian government, current government in any country has too much powers for surveillance. So we need a right for protection of our privacy. Now there is an eternal debate of freedom versus security. So it is said that no, like somewhere if you want security, then you will have to give up some of your freedom. So, like, you allow the government to tap phone calls or check social media or WhatsApp messages, so they can keep a look at terrorist activities, right? But somewhere you are giving up your freedom. You will not be able to behave as freely as you were able to in the past, because now you know that somebody is looking at your messages and looking through your social media, correct? Now, if you want more freedom, then somewhere you have to give up your security. Correct. So, if you want that everybody should own a AK-47, so everybody will be free to carry AK-47 everywhere they go, but the security will be compromised. Anybody anywhere can start shooting. So, this is the eternal debate of freedom and security. So this is the reason we cannot just write the constitution and forget about it, because with changing situations we need to change the constitution. We need to change our ideas of different political concepts. Now, political putting political theory to practice. So political theory will give you diverse definitions of a single term like justice or equality. Correct. So, justice. So, what does justice mean? Huh. For different people, justice might mean different things. Justice can also be an eye for an eye. Correct? If you slap me, I will slap you back. If you steal my pen, I will steal your pen. Correct? Then justice for some other person might mean that you try to reform the criminal. Correct? Because we say that nobody is born as a criminal. People are molded by their circumstances. So if somebody has become a criminal due to their circumstances, then justice will be to help them become a normal person. Correct? Justice can also be restorative. So, for example, if somebody kills my dog, then justice will be not that I go and kill his dog, but he buys me a new dog. So my dog is restored. Of course, it will not be the same dog, but restorative justice is like that. Equality can also mean different things to different people. Correct? So, for example, mm, in your house you have a younger brother and like who is really small right now. So if your parents bring one bicycle each, or they bring, for example, they bring a bike, motorbike for both of you. So will they be treating you both equally? Of course, no. Your younger brother cannot ride a motorbike or a bicycle, correct? So equality will be bringing something which he or she can, of course, he, not your younger brother cannot be she, correct? So something which he can use. So, like this was a very generic example. If I go into a little bit of politics, then a rich person and a poor person will have different needs. So I can sell rice for 30 rupees per kg to a rich person, but I cannot sell the same rice at the same rate to a poor person. For a poor person, the state needs to decrease the price, so subsidy needs to be given. So that is why the meaning of equality and justice are different in different circumstances. Now, Why do we end up with so many diverse definitions for such terms like justice and equality? The answer is because these terms concern our relationship with other humans who have opinions of their own which might be different from others. Correct? So I might believe that justice is no, like an eye for an eye, but the other person might not. So we have two different definitions, correct? My idea of equality can be that everybody should be given equal treatment, but the other person might believe that no, everybody should be given according to their need, correct? So if somebody has one child in their house, then you will only give them a ration for one child. But if somebody has six children in their house, then of course you will need to give them ration for six children, correct? Now we'll look at some case studies. So case 1. So you may have noticed that people often jump the queue in shops or doctors' waiting rooms or government offices. Sometimes those who do so are told to get back in line and we feel glad. Sometimes they get ahead and we feel cheated. We resent this because we all want equal opportunity to get goods and services for which we are paying. So when we reflect on our experience, we understand that equality means equal opportunity for all. Correct? So this seems simple. We don't want people to break the line. No, stand in your line and take your service when your turn comes. Now, here equality will mean equal treatment for equal people. Correct? We all are equal people and we will be treated equally. Now, but if there are separate lines or separate counters for old and disabled people, we will understand that such special treatment may be justified, correct? So we cannot treat old people and us young people equally. We will let the old people form a separate line on their own so they can get their stuff done quickly. Because we cannot expect old and disabled people to stand in line like us, correct? So equality does not always mean equal treatment because the people involved are not equal. Second case. So equality sometimes means special treatment for needy people. Now case 2. But we also notice every day that many poor people cannot go to the shop or to a doctor because they have no money to pay for goods and services. Some of these people could be day laborers who are cutting stones or lugging bricks for long hours. If we are sensitive, we feel that it is not fair that in a society some members cannot even have their basic needs satisfied. We come to realize that equality must involve some kind of fairness so that people are not unduly exploited and disadvantaged by economic factors. So in the previous situation, we saw that everybody was can afford to go to a shop because they have money. Of course, some people are old and disabled, some people are young, but everybody has money. But if somebody is so poor they cannot even go to the shop, then of course, then we need to treat them differently. We need to give them something extra. Sometimes equal opportunity is not enough and some external help is required. So the question is, what more can be done for such people? Correct? So, like in India, we have PDS, public distribution system. So people who cannot afford to go to regular shops because they have very less money, they will go to these PDS shops where they can get food grains and other necessities at a much subsidized rate. So again, this means that especially people with special needs need to be treated differently. Now, third case. Consider the fact there are many children who cannot go to school because they have to work to feed themselves. And most girl students in poor households are pulled out of school to take care of their younger siblings while parents go to work. Even though the Indian Constitution guarantees the right to primary education for all, this right remains formal. Again, we feel that the government should do more for such children and their parents so that they are enabled to go to school. Right? So if some people, some children cannot even go to schools, then how will they become, like, how will they develop in their future? Correct. So again, equal opportunity and giving rights is not enough. The state needs to do something more. Correct. We can say that, oh, we have opened schools for everybody, but if somebody is so poor they cannot afford to go to school and they have to work to keep themselves alive, then we need to do something more. Maybe we need to give them free education. But again, even if the education is free, who is going to feed their family? Then maybe we need to give them some scholarship, some extra money. So we need to pay them so they can study. Correct? Normal people, they pay so they can study, but in this case, we need to pay these people so they can study. So the reason we have so many definitions of equality is because it depends on the context. Sorry for the special spelling mistake. So in different contexts, different meanings can be given. Now I will end this video here. In the next video, we'll discuss about why do we need to study political theory.